Alright. Was that a green silo that fell over? Oh no, that's just actually supposed to be like that. Never mind. Eh, I see you. Briefly. You know what? I'm gonna pull out a flare. Ah, dang it. Didn't see you. Where am I? Ah, there I am. Okay. Alright. And run. Nope. This way. Thank you. Dang it. Was I really facing that direction when I got the checkpoint? Regain your breath. Pull out the flare. If it would stop rotating the camera, I could actually figure out which way I'm going. That way, huh?
I recognize the logo on the power plant sign. I'd seen a version of it painted all over the area, signifying hidden caches of supplies.
Safe haven that way. No? Fine.
Hold it right there!
Miss Weaver, Cynthia, I'm a friend.
Prove it!
You knew Zane, Thomas Zane. You're the Lady of the Light in the song. You can help me.
About time! Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you. It's in the well-lit room.
Excuse me?
What you'll need to drive the darkness back. The lit room is at the dam. I built the room to keep it safe.
Ah. Done with
Will it help me
batteries.
find Alice? Will it get me back to the cabin? Fine, let's go. I can get my friends to come back with the helicopter.
Oh, we won't go outside. Never at night. That's rule number 1. You've been breaking the rules, young man, and where has that gotten us, Oh, I have a secret route. A lit route. Old water pipe. Something was damaged at the transformer yard. It's draining all the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to the yard must be cut.
Let me guess. You want me to do it?
Young man, you're the one who likes to break the rules. I can't be outside in the dark. The kill switch is outside.
Ah, thank you. Warning, this decommissioned site is private property. The power plant is no longer in operation. Trespassers will be prosecuted. There are no lights. Close your eyes, look away. Not that one? Okay.
Weaver had sent me to cut the power to the transformer yard. I was willing to do grunt work for her to get her to help me. I hoped Weaver was dependable. I'd stumbled into this crazy world a little over a week ago. She had been living this insanity for decades.
Give me that. Thank you. Darkness waits in my dreams. Darkness waits anytime you close your eyes. Rule number 1, never go out at night. Safe haven that way. Check a point.
I could see the kill switch that would cut the power to the transformer yard. Now I had to find a way to reach it.
Let's see. Floodgate controls to be operated by authorized personnel only. Alright, so I guess I just gotta get them all active at once. Dang, it's locked. Rule number 2, keep the lights on. Rule number 3, fragile doesn't mean anything.
Who designs these things?
Ah, no! How dare you!
Who designs these things? The transformer yard went dark and damp. Weaver's water pipe passage should now be good to go.
You know what? Easy way. Ah, dang it. Where are you, chainsaw guy? Ow, ow. Ah, dang it. Excuse me. I probably should have loaded the shotgun. What light through yonder window? There we go. That is extremely bright.
This way, young man. Follow me. Come, come. The pipe's empty now. We're ready to go.
I'm not switching to a lower powered flashlight.
I knew them both, Tom and Barbara. I had such a crush on him. Such a beautiful man.
Change the bulbs.
There was a part of me that was maybe a little glad when she had the accident. And then Tom started writing and woke the darkness up. He tried to bring it back, but you can't do that. There are no free rides like that.
I'm starting to realize that.
In that case, young man, perhaps you're a smarter man than Tom was. The witch looked like her, but it wasn't. Barbara was sweet. He didn't understand until it was too late. He tried to undo it, wrote himself, her, everything he'd ever written out of the world. Oh, he was so famous. And afterward, no one knew. Oh, Tom. He left only one thing behind in my game, in case it happened again. Insurance. He trusted me. Or perhaps used me a little. Tom knew how I felt. Knew I wouldn't refuse him. I built the well-lit room and put it there. It's been waiting for you. We are characters trapped in a story. And none of us will survive to see the end. If the darkness isn't stopped, she'll twist the story to her own dark ends.
How do you know all this?
Tom, that's the way he wrote it. He still talks to me, you know, in television, beyond, from below. We have both been touched by the darkness, young man. He saved us both with light. The darkness stays with you. Leaves a stain. This pipe will take us directly to the well-lit room.
Okay, I need to call my friends, tell them where we're going.
Hello? Al!
Barry, we're headed to the dam in one of the pipes. Meet us there.
Okay, I'll tell Sarah.
It's Sarah now?
Whoa! No! For the sweet love of...
Barry! Barry! We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You must reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.
That's my best friend.
Well, be a fool. I'll use the pipe. I'll meet you at the dam if you make it.
Ugh.
At least I didn't have to worry about her. She knew how to stay safe.
The well-lit room, that way. I know how I could have missed that one. So I probably didn't. Ah, there they are. Yeah, that's what I thought. Dang it. Any more? Are you gonna come at me? Didn't think so. Okay, so there's the fire. As foretold by the prophecy, the helicopter has exploded. There, huh? Ow. Going back for another pass. Ow. Alright. Hey, a flare. Oh, nope. That's the flare I just dropped. Give me that. Not sure which direction is the correct way. Oh, okay, so this was actually a shortcut. Good to know. Probably would have had to deal with fewer birds.
Barry! Sheriff Breaker! Sarah!
The crash site looked bad, but as far as I could tell, the wreck was empty.
And no longer on fire for some reason. Probably because fire is bright. Unused flare. You're supposed to break them before you drop them. Sheesh. Well lit room that way. Nice. Nope. Right over there. Okay.
Barry!
Right there.
Hang in there, I'm coming!
Well, okay then.
Hang in there, I'm coming!
Stay
pull out the actual gun. If not here for fire, where?
Wait, I think something's up. No, you don't. Shooting.
Oh, dang it.
Hitting him.
Thank you very much.
Entranceway. We were ready to make like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I have a different ending in mind.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
You all right?
How's that?
The flaming eye of Mordor?
Laugh it up, funny man. Didn't we have somewhere to go?
Weaver will meet us at the dam.
Ah, hello there. Ammo. And what is this? That is a barn. How exciting. It is also a barn, but it's significantly darker. Ah, there you are. Couldn't figure out where they went.
When you spend most of your night running uphill while a crazy bunch of demon hicks try to take your head off with an axe, you know your helicopter crash landed in Night Springs.
But ow, we're safe in the light.
You're the ones who charged out of it while I was still grabbing supplies.
I should have given that gym membership.
Ah, there's the dam.
You see those lights? That's the elevator we need to take.
All the way over there? Sheesh. Wait. Thought I saw something over there.
What the hell is that thing? It's everywhere.
He's a fast one.
Oh crap, there's more than one of them.
Yeah, there's always more than one.
Moves like that. It's impossible.
Do something.
He's too fast. I can't get a shot.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't shoot until they're decloaked anyway.
How many of them are there? Where'd that one go?
Ah, this can't be happening.
Wait, this is bad. This is really bad. Got a perp over here.
Hi.
Look out, wait. This one is different.
Where is it? Ah, there you are.
Right there.
There were only two.
Is that it? Are we safe?
That was... wow. I think we're okay.
I've had to do that with far fewer resources, so
Hey,
yeah, well, that
I
was
got a bad
fine.
feeling.
Let's keep our eyes open.
Taken or filled with darkness.
Now, let's be careful, huh?
Wait, call the elevator. I'm keeping watch.
I think I hear something moving around.
Alright, well, the fact that there are supplies means that this is one of those... Oof. Okay, flare gun. Alright. Read these manuscripts. The clicker.
Nightingale tried to make sense of the manuscript. It was disjointed and strange. He didn't understand half of it, but it all rang true. Impossibly true. He took out his hip flask when he reached the page that described how he reached the page that made him take out his hip flask. It wasn't the booze that made his mind reel. Nightingale felt the situation veering out of his control, but the gun at least felt steady in his hands. He was ready to fire, resolved that he would let this happen over his dead body. And yet he hesitated. He had seen this moment before, read it in the page. He was transfixed by the déjà vu and the horror that he was a character in a story someone had written. Then the monstrous presence burst in behind him and dragged him into the night. The darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's face was furious. The story in the manuscript had been making it stronger all the time, but now the light had set the writer free and hurt it, weakened it. It was only a matter of days before the dark presence would be strong again. But meanwhile, it would be difficult to recapture the writer. Cynthia Weaver worked hard, following her obsessive rituals, sometimes fighting them, always giving in to them in the end. She haunted the halls of Bright Falls abandoned power plant. She marked her caches with light-sensitive paint that could only be seen by eyes that had been touched by darkness and saved by light like she'd been. She was preparing defenses and supply lines for the war she knew would come. The war between the forces of light and darkness. For it to be free, the dark presence needed the writer to finish the story. Again and again, the story let it get frustratingly close to the writer without letting it capture him. It was bound by the events depicted in the manuscript, but it could pursue the writer indirectly, put others on the task, and stop those who would help him. It took over everything in its path, made them its puppets, and sent them after Alan Wake. Alice had screamed until she had no voice left to scream. Around her, the darkness was alive. It was cold and wet and malevolent and without end. She was a prisoner, trapped in the dark place. The terror would have burned her mind out, but one thing made her hang on. She could sense Alan in the dark. She could hear him. She could see the words he was writing as flickering shadows. He sensed her too. He was trying to work his way to her. Barry was in his element, making calls, making things happen, even if he didn't entirely know what those things were. He wouldn't let the hot sheriff down. Even if every noise he heard from outside, and he heard plenty, made him jump. He had only paused to text Al a message, told him to hurry up. Suddenly, Barry froze in mid-dial. A window broke somewhere in the building, and then the lights went out. Barry got back to his feet inside the Bright Falls General Store and dusted himself off. Right next to the cans of baked beans was a locked case filled with flare guns, and yet here was a conveniently placed barrel of crowbars. Barry's smile widened as he realized that this was the classic movie scene where the hero had to gear up and arm himself to the teeth. Barry threw himself into the role. The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story, but the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice. Sarah was almost starting to relax. Maybe they could turn this into a win yet. Suddenly, there was a piercing sound, like a table saw gone wild, as 100 birds made out of shadows swarmed into the rotor. The chopper bucked wildly and the board lit up, telling her what she already knew. They were going down. Barry Wheeler screamed next to her. Thomas Zane knew he had to remove all that had made this horror possible, including himself. That was the only way to banish the dark presence he had unleashed and now looked at him through the eyes of his dead love. But he also knew that despite his best efforts, it might someday return. So even as he wrote himself and his work out of existence, he added a loophole as insurance, an exception to the rule. Anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain.
Like shoes.
Making her way through the water pipe alone, Cynthia was angry at the writer. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest.
Alright, well, those clearly have a set order. Wait, no, never mind. The Poet and the Muse lyrics 4. And then Children of the Elder Gods lyrics 1 and 2.
The Poet and the Muse, lyrics by Old Gods of Asgard, the chorus. And now to see your love set free, you will need the witch's cabin key. Find the Lady of the Light, gone mad with the night. Find the Lady of the Light, still raving in the night. That's how you reshape destiny. Children of the Elder God lyrics by Old Gods of Asgard. The first verse and chorus. Warriors, torchbearers, come redeem our dreams. Shine a light upon this night of otherworldly fiends. Odin's might be your guide, divorce you from the sane. Hammer's way will have its say, rise up in their name. O memory and thought, jet black and clawed, children of the Elder God, scourge of light upon the dark. Children of the Elder God lyrics by Old Gods of Asgard, the second verse and chorus. Scratching hag, you can rake your claws and gnash your crooked teeth. You've taken slaves like ocean waves, now feel the ocean seethe. Father Tor bless the war between the dark and light. In their songs let their wrongs bring disillusion's night. O memory and thought, jet black and clawed, children of the Elder God, scourge of light upon the dark.
Alright. Take the elevator next time.